Hi, it's Krista Strayer, and welcome to our Ayurveda and Essential Oils workshop, the special workshop for the summertime. And this one is all about making your summer feel just completely spa amazing. And I know I totally made that up, but it fits. So this is about how to recover that spa feeling in your life every single day. So having those simple spa-like experiences that are catered to your needs, what you need right now, to your specific body, that will help to rebuild your energy reserves. I want you to come away from this with a summer plan to feel refreshed, to um, to get that spa amazing night's rest, to feel good in your body, and to find that peaceful center again, just to come back to that place. So I had one friend of mine who's a teacher explain like how she felt at the end of this year, and she just felt like I've never felt so tired before. I was speaking to another mom yesterday, and the same feeling. It's just like I don't know, what's going on with this COVID. Everything is less busy, but I feel exhausted. So the idea behind this is to rebuild your energy reserves and not just rebuild them, but give you that reset so you start next fall in a better place. So no matter who you've been looking after this past year, whether it's just been yourself, or those around you, or the kids in your life, or your students, your clients, whatever that is, there's been a lot going on, right? So let's just take a moment. You all have a worksheet. If you didn't get a chance to print that out, totally fine. Just grab a piece of paper and a pen. Grab your spa waters, whether you chose the cucumber or the lemon, get that out. I want you just to jot down, what does that feel like? There's not an official place in your little guidebook for this, but it's maybe even on the front color cover. What does um, the spa feeling feel like for you? What do you think of when you think of the word spa? And so a couple answers I've had from this one have been pampering, just to be able to let go of my troubles for a while, enjoy the moment. And then there's the juicy stuff, the massage, the facials, the water, right? Cheers. The nourishing, healthy food that you might get. Just gonna give a few of those things, you know, kind of bring in that essence of the spa before we even get started. All right. Pause if you need a couple more minutes to jot that down to get in the mood, but otherwise, let's keep moving on this. And I want to just talk about all of the great things that you have been doing, right? So you've been there, you've done a lot of things, you've been there, done that. You've tried so many things to kind of bring this balance into your life. And quite often we're just showered with advice and self-help, and there's really no end to those things that you can try, right? So you eat healthy, perhaps you make the smoothies, you do the oatmeal, you cut back on meat, or you eat vegetarian. You mostly, you work out, you try to get those in there, or you're running, or you do yoga, but there's still some shoulds in the back of your mind. It's like something's still kind of not putting it all together. Still not enough. You're still tired, you're overwhelmed, perhaps you're even living in pain. Um, and that's okay. That's totally normal. And it might feel like I just can't add in another thing at this point. So you've tried so many things. You tried that daily meditation practice, it didn't stick. You even tried yoga, it's not your thing, or you got injured. I get it. I have too. And we'll talk about these three mistakes today, why this didn't work out for you, and why there are all great things out there, why they may not be the right things for you, and that your nature is really key to you. So, if you're tired of the specialists that don't really listen to how you're feeling and you poo poo the healthy things that you want to try, and I don't, if there's this feeling out there, is like, um, you know, how did our modern medicine become traditional and our ancient wisdom become alternative? Right? There's somehow we had this mind flip go on within the last few decades that we need to kind of like reverse. We want to reclaim that lost wisdom that is actually the key to making this all work. But we're going to talk about that in a little bit as to why this is the perfect time to be doing this. But also just some stats, like you're not alone in this. And there's some recent studies or Canadian studies that show that 60% of mothers are showing signs of depression. I think 37% of parents have like severe anxiety going on within them. So there's a lot going on within this. And I think everybody is just at that elevated level of stress of what's happening. So you need a solution, right? You need that roadmap that takes you into account, your body, your dosha. we'll talk about what that is, your intuition, your circumstances, all of that come to play to making your perfect summer plan to kind of bring yourself out of this. So let that aside, that just because your neighbor runs marathons or triathlons or 10Ks doesn't mean that you should, right? Just because your sister lost 20 pounds on a keto diet doesn't mean that that's what you should do, right? It's that everybody has a different body type and style and something that's different for you. And your body gives you a lot of clues, right? Your intuition is that muscle that you use to listen to your cues. But we also have some great ancient wisdom that we can draw on with some modern scientific validation to help us believe this muscle, right? And there's a way to make this work. So, wellness is a lifestyle, it's not just a trip to the spa, right? Or an hour of a week on the massage table or with the acupuncturist. It's something, those little things that we can do to bring that spa into your life every day. And inside, you have the answers, right? You know what's right to do. We're just going to uncover that and go a little bit deeper and make it happen for you. All right. And so, summer is your time to relax. I get it. It's like, I don't want to do another thing. I just need to relax. And it's also the time when things heat up. So these imbalance that you have in your body are just going to flare with the heat of the summer, unfortunately. But there's some really good things we can do to kind of cool this level down. And things are easing up around us, right? If you're a mom or teacher, you've been on survival mode for the past 60 days. May to June tends to be that like crunch time. I just need to make it through to the end of June, or that that's not your count, but you're still thinking, as restrictions ease, it's like I just need to make it through until we're back to normal again, whatever that's going to look like. So it's been a tough year and a bit, and things are easing, but maybe not particularly going away yet, and maybe not ever in some ways. So think of this as your summer relaxation. Think of it also as your summer of possibility, your summer of putting you first. And if not for you, then for those who rely on you. And you can do this and not feel like it's one more thing on your to do item. You can do this and not feel like you need to make it last longer, right? So that you want these changes that we're doing to last right into the fall, right? So everything we're doing, we want to be sustainable. So not just kind of this one shot in the thing. We want sustainable change so that next year can be different, right? That you can, breathe a little deeper, have that easeful feeling as you go about your day. And your time is super valuable. So before you commit even to watching the rest of this, let's just confirm that there's value here and that this is the right thing for you. And does this resonate for you? So if you're tired from pushing through to help somebody else, are you burnt out after this long, very, very long year? Does it feel like you're the glue that holds everything together, but this glue is just becoming unstuck? It's unraveling. You can't hold this together any longer. Are you interested in a different approach to wellness? That your doctor is a member of your team, but not the only one. So you also have a team of natural practitioners that you trust. And you've tried lots of things to stay healthy. Maybe you've tried the yoga, not necessary, but maybe you've tried it. The green juice, the massage, acupuncture, something in there kind of resonates that there's something that's working for you in that regard. But there's still that missing piece for you to feel, fully energized, for you to stay healthy, to age gracefully, to, you know, move through these next phases of your life. And maybe you even have a few things going on. This isn't a prerequisite, so don't feel you need to have these. But know that if you do, that this is a place that you might find some solutions. So maybe there's some digestive stuff going on, some bloating, some cramps, food intolerances. Maybe you've got some chronic pain going on, difficulty sleeping, your hormones might feel a little out of whack. And any of these signs that we take as hormones, the typical signs, know that those are signs of imbalance, not what's should be happening. Maybe you got some mood anxiety stuff that you're just feeling is a little on edge, or you're just feeling a little down or low and can't find that pick me up. These are all related in one way or not, and they are all normal. So it's not a part of aging, whatever that is. It's not a part of normal, whatever that is. Or perhaps, too, you're just feeling this lack of community and connection and real relationships, and you want to have real conversations with people who think like you and people who care like you do about those around you and about the world that we live in. All right, so our intention today, if you've checked off all these boxes and you're ready to keep going, our intention today is to rediscover your lost inner wisdom. So, kind of re-tap into that. So, we're going to talk about some Ayurveda as our ancient wisdom um, secret or theory or you know ancient wisdom. What's that term? Tradition, I guess, is the word that we're going to put forth it. Even though traditional medicine has a different take on it right now. We're going to talk about something called your dosha, and we're going to tap into that intuition. We're going to avoid the three common mistakes of self care we all kind of get caught up in, and we're going to create that summer spa plan that's for you. So use your workbook or use your piece of paper because we're going to be like dialing into that. And know that if you're brand new to the wellness lifestyle, you're going to learn how to do this simple, easily, and make it really doable for you. If you're an experienced yogi or healthy lifestyle guru, you'll learn to amplify and tweak what you do to make it work even better for you. So, whatever end of the spectrum you're on, our goal today is for you to come away with an action plan to make self care your daily priority. And who doesn't want to go to that spa every day? Who doesn't want to be surrounded by that spa feeling or to start your day with that little bit of spa essence, that spa amazing feeling? Okay, so now is the perfect time, right? You're here because you need a break. You recognize that you are more valuable to others if you look after yourself. You're at the point where you know something needs to change. You value the ancient wisdom that we lost track of for so long. And now is the perfect time. So, not only is summer a time where we have a bit more freedom, right, in terms of our schedules, we also have a bit more daylight, which means more energy for us. We have more pit of fire or that ability to get things done. It's also the perfect time to embrace our lost wisdom because we have the science now to back some things up. And we know that we need this now more than ever with what's going on in our world. When you weave these two powerful tools together, this ancient wisdom and the modern science, you create magic, you create healing, and you create love. And most importantly, we create belief. We belief in our self-care tools, how and why they work, and so much, and that makes it so much easier for us to follow through on them, and belief in you and what you're capable of. So now's the perfect time to fully embrace and to fully love yourself. So give yourself a great big hug. Take a sip of your spa water as we dive in. Okay, so the Ayurveda Summer Spa, and just a heads up, I am going to give you a little opportunity at the end of this on how to, join this opportunity. If you want to be that person on the ground being massaged fully into this, and have that support and care, we've got some options for that, and we'll talk about how to make that easy. But if that's not the right thing for you, that's totally fine. I want you to come away with a lot of value and a lot of just things to kind of tuck away, think about, and that little action plan that you're going to take forward. Okay, and I have a special gift for you for watching the full thing, and dialing into this. We've got a special essential oils hormone guide that's going to come your way as well. Right, so who am I? I'm Krista, and I'm going to call myself a belief engineer. So I am a yogi, but perhaps an unlikely yogi because I'm a mechanical engineer by training. And I found yoga through desperation, really. I had a bad back, was sitting too long, working way too many hours at a desk. And I fell in love with Iyengar yoga, which is therapeutic in its nature. So it's kind of got that scientific or that experimental proof behind it. There's lots of angles in it, info, it's that evidence based approach. So I fell in love with this, and then I trained in Ayurveda and spent many years and lots of investment into learning about this ancient art, this science, this wisdom. And I had this super curious mind and this need to understand why. And I never would have thought that my engineering mind would ever complement my yoga career. It seemed like two opposites in my life. But right now, I'm really feeling that this makes sense. And this curiosity and the science based thought process to make sense of this mixture of the old and the new, to look at what works and what doesn't work, And because I can't just do it because someone told me to, I have to know the why behind it. And it has been, I will admit, a long road for me to find wellness and healing. I've tried a lot of things, experimented, but done that. Trust me, I have all the excuses in my back pocket. I followed the doctor's advice of none, then, but I learned when to know when to ignore that, and when to do the researching and testing in my own body, in my laboratory, right? My body, my clients, my friends, and working it through this with a lot of people in my life. And through this, I really rediscovered myself. So I've gone from that never really fitting into either camp, the engineer who was the yogi, or the yogi who was the engineer. Um, and I can now be proud of myself. I've kind of woven those two together to kind of that Jekyll and Hyde, the engineer and the yogi, to finally weave them to make this. Just kind of just to embrace this fabric of my nature and to go with this. So I hope that you can find value in some of these things that I'm able to bring to the table on this. So, this curious mind and this desire to figure it out and the desire to heal and not accepting that status quo, not accepting that pain was going to be my lifestyle, not expecting that, hormones were going to be a thing for me. Okay. Um, Stepping into my story a little bit, there was a summer, and I had to really search to find pictures because I didn't allow a lot of pictures during the summer, because this was the summer where I was forced to slow down, that things were barreling on, right? And you accept that, okay, that this is going on, but you just keep barreling through and you ignore all those signs and those symptoms. And so, even though at this point in time I was a yogi doing a lot of work with that, I was teaching Ayurveda at the time, doing some work within that. But and busy mom, had my business, my career, all of those things. Enjoying life full out, and I broke my jaw. And Toby, the little culprit on there, we were out for a late night walk and just, actually enjoying the fully enjoying the moment and just like loving life and going kind of running perhaps when I shouldn't have been, and caught my toe in a sidewalk block and boom, went down and broke my jaw. The impact on my chin, not one of my proudest moments, I will admit. But it forced me to slow down for the summer. And this is where I spent my summer. Basically, I was on this couch for the most part with a stack of books, kind of diving into things a little bit further. And I had these different, areas. I had my Ayurveda, I had my yoga, I had my essential oils, doing these different things. I was teaching a lot of like yoga classes and, doing the Ayurveda coaching, but not weaving them necessarily together. But in the summer where I, couldn't teach group programs anymore because my jaw was wired shut and it's really hard to talk like this, I started working one-on-one with clients, and I put together this VIP program of weaving in the Ayurveda, these, 10, kind of sacrosanct lessons, or these 10 habits we call of Ayurveda, called the Dinacharya, weaving that in with some, personal yoga and like working in with what different clients were working with in their lives. And then the oils, enhancing all this and amplifying this, and a series of clearings that I was exposed to this summer with using the essential oils to clear away some of your blocks and to raise your vibration and kind of help you to propel you further faster. So as I wove this all together, it was a really amazing system, both for myself and for the clients that I worked with. And that kind of came about. So you did this and then kind of set it aside until we've had this other period of slowdown in our life. And I've woven all this back together again into a group program that we can kind of take forward. And so we can weave all the best of these different aspects together. And yeah, I moved forward on this. Through this process, of having my jaw wired shut, it also kickstarted a bunch of reactions in my body in terms of digestion, and ended up with this rash all over my hands and my legs, which wasn't very comfortable. It didn't look very good, but most of all, it was just itchy and uncomfortable feeling. And I had a doctor tell me to put Vaseline on it, and it was just like, what? Vaseline is a petroleum product. I don't put petroleum products on my body, right? And it's like, yeah, it does seal it, so it doesn't get, worse, or maybe like it just added on. It didn't really do much, but it really made me realize that I need to find some outside sources and to deep dive into things a little bit deeper. So we've got all of that wisdom and learning that's going to come into play with this as well. Okay, so let's just talk about Ayurveda, and because this is really where I find the magic happens with Ayurveda, is when we align to the seasons. And that's kind of what Ayurveda is. Ayurveda simply means, so Ayur is the science and Veda is life. It's the science of life. And so it's weaving, it's like studying your life and weaving life into nature. So you're aligning with the seasons, to the rhythm of the day, and how that can make a huge difference in your life, right? And the other super important aspect is awareness and reconnecting to your intuition. So just really noticing and stopping for that moment, right? And paying attention to the signs and signals that are within your body. And already on our group coaching calls, with people have been picking up that, summer is on the way, these little signs of summer. It's like, I can't do lemon in my water anymore. So this might be a little bit edgy, especially for such a hot day, but it just seemed to be the kickstart I needed for my brain today. So I'm going to, put that in there. But your cucumber, if you're choosing that one, is might be your choice. So just notice what it is. Everybody's body is different. Maybe you're craving watermelon or peppermint. These are some things that have come up in our group as well. Maybe your body is not rejecting ice cream anymore, right? That's a good part of this. That's one of our spring kapha triggers, is that ice cream is not going to be your friend in the spring, but in the summertime, we get to play that edge a little bit and it gets to come back in. So these are all the small cues that summer is here, and it's time to align with that. In fact, simply realigning to nature is enough to get you back on track. So doing that spring cleanse can help you to kickstart that in, or making use of the freedom of summer is really what we're looking for. In the fall, we've got a whole other seasonality that we're going to look to tap into, to realigning ourselves with that. And it all taps into the foods that we choose to eat, and a lot of it is just a natural inclination, which you might listen to or not. Um, but now with that little bit of awareness behind you, you'll know, okay, this is why I'm craving this, and it's okay. It's an okay thing to do that, right? So this is one aspect of nature healing on this. Aligning to that natural rhythm of the day is another aspect, and just being aware of what daylight is and what nighttime is, and respecting that. And then using essential oils, which is that really pure essence of nature, to cool things down, to create that spa-like atmosphere, and to release some of those aches and pains, perhaps, from the things that we like to overdo it with in the summertime. Okay, so think of Ayurveda as this language of your body, and being able to understand and listen to your body on a whole other level within that. I also like to call my essential oils my love language, and how I can, treat my body with that extra little bit of care and attention. Okay, so we're going to look at three things here. One is that A, you don't fit in a box. Two, it's got to be super simple and easy. And three, band-aids don't work. Okay, so as we frame these as our mistakes, is one, that our mistake is that we're ignoring ourselves. Two is that mistake of being thinking too big, or trying too big, or to be too perfect. And three is to look at the incomplete picture, and that we are not an incomplete picture, and we need that whole essence to make this work for you and in your body. Okay, so number one, you are not your sister, right? And we need to pay attention to your intuition. So there's two kind of facets on this one. So I want you to introduce you to your dosha. And your dosha is the Myers-Briggs test of yoga. So go ahead and just jot some things down in your guidebook. I believe it's page 3. Of course, I don't have mine in the right order. Page 3 on this is going to be like where we talk about this. And I've got a link on there that you can go look at afterwards. But for right now, there's a little description in there about your dosha, and how Vata is kind of this essence that's made up of air and ether. So it's light, it's cold. Think, outer space, cold and spacey. So Vata is starting the day with green smoothies, eating vegetarian. They love to move. They might tap into like running a marathon, triathlon, everything. They're always on the go, but they're mobile. They're ungrounded is the flip side of that. There's not much to them, so they need more substance. They need more food. They may need to eat 4 meals a day, and that's okay. But they can easily get overwhelmed or depleted, right? They don't have big energy reserves. The pitta, on the other hand, is that, fire and water, they love to go deep, right? They're action takers, but they also have quick tempers. And the harder, the more intense, the better, right? For a pitta. And so I used to see pittas downtown when I worked in the corporate world, my engineering life. And every day at lunch, they'd go for a walk. And you're surrounded by pittas when you're in that downtown environment, right? Those action takers and go-getters in there, the leaders often, right, in terms of a pitta. But at lunch, they'd be going for a run in the heat of the summer, right? And then they're going back to work, a super stressful job. And so that run in the heat just totally aggravated their nervous system and made everything even more stressful. So they're going to have more, physical results for that. And honestly, they probably would have been better off physically and mentally by taking a nap under their desk, right? Or going to a yoga class. And then we have our kaphas, right? So kaphas love to take things easy. So they probably did go take a nap or they went to the gym. This is my husband, goes to the gym so he can have a sauna, right? They love that atmosphere. They enjoy their break time. I also love the comfort food. And they're made of earth and water, which sometimes can be a little hard to get moving, right? So they would be better served by going for that run at lunch or really a brisk walk. And then rewarding yourself with a sauna afterwards. So make sure you put that effort in. When you don't understand your nature, you're drawn to what pulls you out instead of what pulls you back in. So when you understand your nature, this is what everything just starts to make sense. So did you have allergies as a kid? Do you get heartburn? Are your joints achy? Do you get anxious or overwhelmed easily? Do you or not have a lot of acne on your skin? Do things kind of come out for you like that? All of this can be explained by what dosha you have. So after this, I want you to make sure to send me a little email. Jot down these little triggers that you have or what might describe you. It will help to put all those pieces together. Right? And best of all, when you know your nature, you know what's best for you, not your sister, not your best friend, not your running partner. You know what's going to make sense for you in the long run. The other aspect of Ayurveda is there is this theory, philosophy, this rule, golden rule perhaps, that like increases like. And this is kind of what makes this really empowering for us, is that without the awareness, we do what we're attracted to, or we're often attracted to do the things that are going to pull us out of balance. It's just human nature, it's just part of it is. And so jot down some of these triggers. We're going to go through some of these. So, and this is what kind of what happens when you ignore this self of you, or you're just unaware of this self of you, right? So Pitta lives this life of extremes. Like they do that running at midday, right? Which can be extremely depleting for a Pitta. Or they like to train for that triathlon or the marathon. And it just might be if you're, doing this because you feel driven to do it, but you're also finding yourself really exhausted and having some, side effects flaring up on you. It just might be that it's too depleting, right? For your nature, you're overdoing it. Perhaps you indulge in the spicy food, the red wine, and you can get away with this in the winter, but not in the summer, right? So this might throw your hormones out of whack, and it could almost throw your whole system out of whack if you're doing this. I know it's summer. I love my wine too, but I can't have it every night, right? And I have to watch the redness or the spicy scale as to what's in there. Otherwise, I'm going to get that 2 or 3 a.m. liver wake up call. So I'm basically half and half pitta vata, right? When I was working downtown corporate world, my pitta was definitely the one that was coming to forefront. And now as a yogi, where my routine is a little bit more all over the place, I'm definitely tapped into that vata. Just so you have that awareness of like, what does this look like for somebody within that frame? Okay, and then the kapha, let's go into Vata next. The picture's there. The Vata is that person who, um, just thrives on no schedule, right? Thrives on that sense of freedom and yahoo, we're just going to go full out there. And so maybe they even, packed all of the, they packed 6 outfits a day to wear, and they got like everything that they want to do, and they're going to do this and this and this, but they didn't pack their phone charger and they didn't pack their toothbrush, but they're like out for the adventure, up for anything, um, flitting off to this, that, and the next thing. Whereas the pittas were ticking off everything on their list, gotta go. And then the kaphas are the one that they pack that the book, right? They pack their book on their vacation and just gonna sit and be cozy. Everyone else is going off. I'm gonna go do this, gonna go see this. I'm good right here, right? I've got your book, you got your cozy snacks, and there you sit, which is all well and fine, but this can have some side effects, right? So for that pitta that depletion, the vata going all these different directions just leads to this driving your nervous system up. So you end up anxious, perhaps not falling asleep because you're anxious, that you're just too much on the go. And then the kapha, this sedentariness can bring in this summer colds and that aspect that kind of comes in, and that ability that at the end of the summer, yeah, you've replenished, but you didn't get things moving. You didn't move out some of that heat from the summer. You didn't work any of this stuff off, so that you're still kind of feeling that heavy feeling within you as you go into the next phase, the next season. So what if you ignore this aspect of yourself? Is A, you don't get results because you're driven to do things that are putting you fully out of balance, right? Further out of balance is the word I'm looking for. And you can actually make things worse, right? When we look at that. So I want you to consider, what do you need right now? What's going on in your life? Are you sandwiched between being that caregiver for your kids and your parents? Do you have a lot of deadlines and work commitments that are burning the candle low every night? Are your hormones waking you up and causing you to erupt? Are you dealing with a family member who erupts at everything you say? Or are you dealing with chronic pain, which just takes over all aspects of your day? So just, take a moment to presence that. What do you need right now? We're going to work that in. So keep that present in your mind for what we're going to do within your summer plan. Because you're unique, right? And you deserve way more than a one size fits all solution. So number two, let's face it, we all know the things that we should do, right? Deep down, we know, we have these knowing within us. Um, you know, we know the things, except when we get tripped up, and the things that we do because we're attracted to the like attracts like, right? So those are a few things that we think that we should do, but we kind of know deep down that we shouldn't do them, right? Um, but you've got this, you've got all these lists, these things that you do, you know you should do, but you're not doing them yet, right? You're not a rock star at them yet. And why do you still keep putting yourself last on your to-do list? So one reason of this is that we do have big dreams, right? And big goals are amazing. I totally support them, but don't let your big goals derail your everyday actions. So you don't have to wake up at 5 a.m. every day just because you read the book, right? Or to train for that triathlon because your group is going to go for it, right? Or a half marathon or even a 5K. In fact, these might be depleting, as we talked about, right? More than they're helping. Even a 20-minute meditation, which is great, but it doesn't have to be 20 minutes, right? Maybe the small win, maybe the 1 minute meditation every day is going to serve you better than the 20 minutes once a month, right? And maybe that once a day can grow to three, that 1 minute once a day will eventually grow to 3 minutes, three different times during your day. And that can give you what you need and give you that little reset and bring you back into balance. The same with yoga. I love going to class. There's so much benefit to going to that class and being in that environment, having the other person look at you and, tell you where you can make those little tweaks, make sure that you're doing things safely. But what saves me most is my quick morning routine every morning. And that's what, in the long run, if I can do that, whether it's, some days it might be like a minute, it might be a quick couple sun salutations and I'm off and running. Some days it might be 10 minutes or 20 minutes. And some days it might be 3 poses. But as long as I've done something, it set me up better in the long run. And these are the small wins that will build up your dreams, right? Build you up to those places where you can accomplish all of these other dreams. But first, we have to get started. First, you need to get past that overwhelm and that exhaustion that is, just deep seated within your body, right? So the downside of those big goals is the exhaustion, the quitting, the depletion, all those things. You don't get that reward because you're never really getting there. We need to break it up into smaller bits and bites so that we can move past that resistance. This is one of the cues that we use as our mindset tool, or one of those, habit tools that we use to get past, to slip through that resistance of doing things really, really slow. So take some sip of your water, release some of that stress of, feeling like you've got to have something major going on. And I want to introduce you to Allie. So Allie, when she joined the program, the Daily Essentials, she really didn't expect it to have, such a big impact on her. She just thought she'd learn a few things. She's a learner. She likes to learn things. And she's got the book on Ayurveda. She had looked at it before and studied it. And that's kind of all she was about. Just I just want to learn a little bit more and tap into this, learn more about my essential oils, a little bit more about Ayurveda. But within the first, few weeks, really within a month, Allie had totally switched and changed her life. It was so amazing to see, and I'm just so blessed to have Allie in my life. She went from, having a job and kind of like going through life, and that, yeah, this is okay, right? This is just the way things are, to waking up early, just realigning with her clock. It's just like, why am I lying in bed not sleeping when I could be up? And she got up and started to take a yoga teacher training program. She's now a beautiful yoga teacher, and she's completed her training already. Gone on and done a couple other trainings in the meantime, but she's kind of had a new purpose just infused into her life just by the first couple of weeks. And basically, the foundation of what we're going to look at, reshifting that foundation, gave her this energy and the ability to go through with some of those bigger dreams and goals that she had. Okay, mistake number three is the incomplete picture, right? Those band-aid solutions that leave us feeling deprived, and they don't get us those long-term results that we're looking for. And I hate to burst your bubble, but massage and essential oils are still band-aids. Band-aids that I love, mind you, but they're still band-aids. So is yoga. So is, eating the green juice. Everything on its own ends up being a band-aid when you're not looking at that whole complete picture of you, of your essence, right? And if you don't have the right foundation, all of these good things that you do, there's just nothing for your body to build on. You're doing these constant fixes. Maybe you're running all over to the massage, the chiropractor, the acupuncture, trying to get it fixed, but your body doesn't have what it needs to heal itself. Right? There's no building blocks. And so the cycle will keep repeating over and over within itself. The other aspect of this is the whole picture creates magic, right? And so when we lost this ancient wisdom traditions, when we brought science in, which is a totally, I'm a science girl, I love it, and I love that it's now validated some of these things. But we went and we picked it apart in the laboratory, and we picked out the pieces. We took the molecule, we took the you can see the leaves and the berries. We took the thing, we dispersed it out, broke it apart into something synthetic, and said, "This is the magic. All I need is this piece." And this is actually the story of aspirin. So aspirin, and this is, wintergreen down below, which is methyl salicylate, right? So when you use wintergreen, the full molecule, your body looks at it and goes, "Oh, okay, this is what I need to reduce the pain in my body." Well, in the laboratory, they took out just this methyl salicylate compound, just that tiny one that you see there, and put it into a pill format. Now your body sees it and goes, "Oh, okay, this is going to help my pain, but I'm missing this. I don't like this over here. This doesn't have the right, fitting in. So I need to create all this inflammation around these areas so that I can reduce the pain, but not have it, hurt other areas of my body." So we've got the one aspect in there, but we don't have the whole complete picture. And so it gives us a different story. It gives us these side effects, right? So when we use our essential oils, pure essential oils, we're talking about not the synthetic ones that you find in the mall, even in a health food store. I hate to burst your bubble on that one, but there's a whole different realm that we're talking about in this. But when you get the whole molecule in there, your body looks at it, goes, "Oh, I love it. It knows exactly what to do, and just let's go. Just let your shoulders release. And as you feel that, I'm just kind of that release from the stress." So we're going to use a tap into that whole picture as well. So signs that you are out of sync, that you are, applying some band-aids and not getting that whole picture within there. So just kind of go through, this is all in your workbook. Go through and do the check marks as to what you are experiencing, or if you don't have the workbook, just kind of jot down a few things that you're feeling. And this is a way too of giving yourself a benchmark to see how many of these you can alleviate with your summer spa experience. And if we end up doing this together, these check marks are actually going to help when we meet together, focus your plans. When we create your individual plan, we're going to get your foundation set. We're going to make that individual plan. And this is just going to be what we're going to target first off, right? The reason why we look at this secondary after the foundation, because when you create this foundation, first, it's going to tick off a lot of these boxes for you or erase some of those ticks for you. So it's going to alleviate a lot of these once that initial foundation, just like Allie found within her experience, it's going to release and let that go. But with the ones that are remaining, we're going to create that targeted plan for you. Okay, so you might be thinking, this really sounds great, but I don't have time for this, right? Totally. Who's got time for anything these days? But what if your brain worked better and clearer? What's that worth to you in time? And you'll never create time doing what you do now, right? You've already lived that and seen that. And it's these simple daily essentials, these non negotiables. This is how you actually create time in your life for what's important to you, for your family, for your friends, for your, that time for you. You might also be thinking, my family is never going to go for this. This is going to be way out for them. They're not, they're not going to move their food, anything like that. So rule number one, this is not about the family. This is for you. The side effect to rule number one is that when you are radiant, when you are well rested and happy, their family will naturally align to you and your rhythm. But if they don't, that's perfectly okay because you'll be able to be there fully for them and be present for them. These simple, small actions are far less expensive than your trips to the chiropractor, the naturopath, the massage therapist, which I still love to go, but I want to go to enjoy the experience, not because I'm in so much pain that I have to go, right? And we've got you covered on all the goodies because I am the queen of excuses. Trust me, I have used them all. Okay, so I want you to meet Story, or meet Kelly. She is her story is all about creating this whole picture, right? And she ate healthy. She was going to the gym, but it was her family that was kind of keeping her up at night, essentially. She didn't want to miss out. So she was, enjoying her quality time with her daughter and, watching Netflix and doing all that thing, but staying up way too late and then getting up way too late. And as a kapha, that really, part of her kapha nature, she's a pitta and a kapha. You can tell by her red hair in there that she's a pitta. But her kapha nature was, coming more to the forefront that she was just not, she was feeling down and depressed and not motivated to get things done. So we made some like simple tweaks in terms of prioritizing her time with her daughter and her husband so that she could do that early enough so that she could go to bed when her body felt tired, when she was, needing that sleep. And then that just created that all of a sudden she had more time and more ability to spend with her family during her quality hours when she was more present with them. And then this fueled a whole series of little steps that enabled her to become this, higher, better version of herself. So there's a way to do this and still have that family time and still meet the needs of your family, but also look after you. Okay, so what if you understood your nature, what pulls you into balance and out? What if summer was the perfect time for you to pamper and replenish your deep energy reserves? You had that whole picture to actually, heal that root cause and to feel complete and whole and in control of your life again. What would that look like? What would that mean for you? What would be the possibilities from that? So are you excited about what could be? Is that, tingling a little bit? Maybe there's something that I can do with this, right? Or are you feeling a little overwhelmed because we've kind of covered a lot? And I know it's impossible to share it all in 60 minutes. And I've tried to cover as much as possible and hopefully make this a little bit less than 60 minutes. We'll see if I can meet that. But I want to, I've created a special package for those of you who want to move forward and implement this fully in your life. And so I'm just asking your permission at this point if I take 10 minutes just to go over this special offer and to help you implement this Ayurvedic summer spa into your life this summer so that you can feel your best come the fall. And so this is something that's so near and dear to me, the daily essentials. And this is what I found has worked, best for both myself and for my clients. And it is this proven structure that we've created. We've kind of time tested it through this last year. We've tweaked it and we've tried to find the easiest, simplest pieces. And in the course modules, everything is laid out in just short video lessons. So it's perfect for washing the dishes, for folding the laundry, just a quick break for your time. So it's short and concise, so easy to digest because we're all about the digesting here, right? And your course comes with the essential oils. So I've worked that into the price of your course so that you can, and it comes with a really high quality brand of supplements. So you can create that solid, foundation. We've got cleansing oils, we've got calming and sleep oils, muscle and pain support, immune boosting. And we know that oils can be band-aids, but your e-oil the starter kit also, includes those supplements that are going to help you to get your belly working, to boost your deep energy reserves, and to help those oils enhance what you're doing and not just be the band-aids, right? And I once looked all over the city looking for ashwagandha. It's one of these, Ayurvedic crazy sounding herbs that my Ayurvedic friends had recommended that I look for to finding my energy reserves. And it was one of those things that was all the time I had it within. It was actually in my cupboard the whole time in the supplements that I got with my essential oil starter kit. But the time is like, I don't do supplements, right? I don't need that. But here it was all along in my cupboard. When I finally read the list of ingredients, it's like, oh, now when I take them, or when I take them, my day is great. If I don't take them by noon, I know that I have forgotten them. So this summer, we have a special theme to our Daily Essentials program. And because it's summer, because we want to take things a little bit easier and lighter, we are going to do a special Ayurvedic Summer Spa. And so we have all the course material there, and you get access to everything for 6 months. And I actually recommend people run through the program a couple of times so that the first time through, you can just do the highlights. You can just do enough that's going to give you the energy to go to that next bigger win, right? And so even if you just do the weekly spa tips, these small wins, you're going to find yourself better able to tackle more in the fall. So your spa wins are totally going to add up for you on this. So it breaks down basically into the rhythm, which is your foundation. So the biggest shifts by simply come by knowing your nature and living your nature, right? So this ancient wisdom of Ayurveda is simple. So when you sync yourself back up to that natural rhythm and you understand your natural rhythm, we're going to add in a little essential oil fairy dust into that to make this daily rhythm really easeful and effective for you. Okay, and we're going to establish your foundation for just staying calm in that chaos of your life. Then we move into the recipes, which are amplifiers. This is weeks 5 to 7. And so, whether it's hormones or emotional mood swings, it's all chemistry. This is where the science has brought this whole new understanding and level of trust into this ancient wisdom. And so, we can actually, you know, make bigger wins on this, and we can use these bigger wins to get passed down, like to pass down this new learning from generation to generation. So we can add that why into these ancient wisdom theories. Okay, and then we have our rituals. So this is where you get to nourish your inner goddess with self-love rituals that you'll crave as you end and start each and every day. We're going to really tap a lot into our rituals this summer in our spa experience. When your body's back on track and feeling energized, you'll get super playful with your massage and your skincare and your energy clearings that are going to bring you more joy. And this is going to be like as we move into the September period, this is going to be where we're at. We're going to have that energy to really establish when we go back to those routines of fall that you're going to have that. So you can embrace your, morning ritual rock star and your evening ritual goddess fully and completely in that. Okay, so just in more depth so that you can kind of have that full understanding. Step one is your rhythm. And you have a page actually in your book so you can, jot down some things. So we have become disconnected from Mother Nature in a lot, right? Between electricity and heating and air conditioning and Netflix, right? So we no longer have to feel the seasons or even care when the sun comes up or down. And when you kind of realign to this and understand how this fits into your day with this thing we call the dosha clock, um, you'll find a whole new alignment, a whole new energy kind of coming forth. So just think about with the morning, do you get up with the sun? The evening, do you sleep with the sun? And I know this summertime in Canada, this is a really hard one to do. And we take a little latitude on this one. But just jot down where you can better align. What's one thing you could do to better align with nature this summer? The other place we're out of alignment is with our soil, right? It doesn't have the nutrients that we need to sustain us anymore. So getting this baseline is super, super important to start the day right away so we can start that healing process within our body. So these are the keys that we look at within this first 4 weeks, the first setting that foundation for us. And then we step into the recipes. And this is where our spa gets super juicy on this one. Our summer recipes of the food that are going to balance out pitta. So that that's that fiery essence. We need to like cool that down within the summer. And we all have that little bit that goes on. And so you'll have your go-to food list for the pitta foods. And we're going to add in some spa-like recipes into the mix for this one as well, just to make it easy, simple, fun, and tasty. This is where things kind of get personal as well. So with that first section, if it doesn't account enough for your individualization, Like it will, because we have all kind of like everybody's body is differently, right? So we're gonna, treat that with that respect that it deserves. But this is where we start to individualize things a little bit more. So you can tap into just picking and choosing what you need to take into your body with you for your summer little spa experience on that. What treatment programs really you need to focus on within you? What are your unique health challenges? Is it simply stress? Is it toxin overload? All that hand sanitizer that's been consumed by your skin in the last little bit, what's that done to you? And we're going to take a look at that. And then coming into our rituals, right? And this, stepping into the full blown spa experience. We'll be tapping into massage in a big way. And this morning routine that we look at within here can be as quick as 6 minutes. It can be as long as 20. It can be 60 minutes if you have the time on the weekends to do that. So it's really flexible in that regard, but it's meant to set yourself up for the most amazing day every day, right? So you can be truly there and present for those who need you and to get you through this next year, right? And so we're not just living in survival mode anymore, but you're able to roll with it, enjoy it, thrive within it, to flourish within it, right? Think about what daily ritual will enhance your summer spa experience. You can jot that down on your sheet. And if this was so simple, why are you not doing it already, right? And this is where it gets tough and real because you are the master at self sabotage. Your brain is designed to resist change. It's part of being human, right? It's designed to keep you safe, to keep you within the familiar. And even when you know that this familiar isn't serving you, and this has been kind of the final turning point for me in making this work. And of course, we use our little amplifiers all the way along. But on our course calls together, we're able to use um, our group experience and our oils. We'll, add that little fairy dust in there as well. But we use some mindset tools, one called the model, and then a whole bunch of habit hacks that we use to support us to get to the root of the problem and understand, what is the problem? Is it a problem, first off? And then what is the problem? And what are we really tackling? It's not just about the doing it or not doing it. There's other stuff that's going on behind the scenes. And so with these tools, there are no excuses. There's no escaping the truth. And I love the group program because it's almost easier to see how it relates to yourself when someone else is asking the question, right? It's amazing how sometimes you don't even think of a question and someone else brings it up, and that's exactly what you needed to hear on that call, right? And if you're not ready to put it out there, somebody else will be. And there's studies actually that, I'm a big study girl. Um, you go actually 80% further with the group support than with individual coaching. And so trust me, there's nothing special about me and being able to succeed at this. I resisted this so hard, but I know it works. I know that it's possible. I know that my clients can sometimes even go further with this than I do. I had one client, Trina, who lost 20 pounds, and there's no dieting within our course at all, but it's simply within just the restructuring of your day, bringing it back to that natural point. Your body is able to relax and let go of some of that, extraness that it's holding on to. So if that's something that you need to step into, this might be a way to do it in a really easeful and supportive way. And everything we do is super easeful. I am the busiest person I know, and we make it as easy and doable that we can possibly do to slip that into our day. So if you are new to yoga and natural wellness, this is going to give you the blueprint. So there's no guessing. You can just step into this and know what works for you. If you're an experienced yogi, this is going to deepen your experience. When you add this to that full wisdom of Ayurveda, I consider like yoga just kind of one of the pieces or the parts that fall under this umbrella of Ayurveda. And so you can enjoy the amplifying effects of that. And when you add in those essential oils, moms and teachers and grandmas, this is crucial, right? It's truly the biggest thing you can teach for the next generation. For the healers and the coaches, for those who live to serve others, this is the key to showing up authentically and mindfully with others in your life. This is the key to living your purpose. But we get ahead of ourselves just a little bit. The number one reason that my clients delay jumping in is time. We have a crazy relationship with time, right? The I'm too busy is one of the biggest gifts actually of the course is having the time to think again. So these simple habits will give you control over your time again. So really, if you're busy, you can't afford not to start this right now. And it's not going to get better until you do, right? That is just the simple, the truth, the hard truth of what this is. So the daily essentials, you get a lot within the program. It's geared to help you process it in stages, right? And so, in fact, most people, I encourage everybody to take the course at least twice. You may even find yourself going through it again to get little wisdom things. You don't have to do it all the first time through, but it's there. We have the all of the pieces that when you're ready for it, it's going to be there for you. So when you decide to join in, take that leap and join us, you get instant access to all of these short, easy to digest, easy to fit in modules. There's a guidebook and worksheets, and the total value of this would be about 1997. It's about $2,000. I'd put the price tag on the course itself, right? There's just so much information that's in here, easy to access. There's lots of depth, but also lots of places that you can just go into. Where you have that ability to at the moment because we know those small wins are what's going to move us forward. But what makes it, really effective is that everything that you need is here. So your course comes with a doTERRA membership kit, and don't worry, this is not where you have to start selling to your family and friends. In fact, most people who have a doTERRA membership are simply customers. They're not advocates. They don't sell at all within the program. They simply buy the oils and products because they like them. So your starter kit comes with all of the basics, all the oils and supplements that you need, and of course our family favorite, the deep blue. These basic oils have the balance. We have tangerine, frankincense, on guard, lavender are perfect for creating that spa feeling. Plus the supplements are going to help to create that foundational level support, the building blocks for your healing. And in full disclosure, I do have a couple other oils that I like to recommend Ayurvedically, depending on what's going on in your body. You have what you need in your kit to get started from there. And if they work for you, we're all about awareness and just knowing so that they're not a requirement by all means. But if they do work for you, because you have that membership, you have, the easy ability to get them at 25% off. Just those ones that you want to when you want to. There's no monthly requirement or anything like that within there. Um, and that's what I was going to mention in there, but I totally forgot what I was going to say, but that's okay. Um, oh, usually when there's something that I need to find, like my little ashwagandha story, right? It takes me at least 2 months. That one took me a full year to discover it was in my closet. Because really, I was looking every time I would go by a health food store, I would stop, pull in, look, run in and check. Do you guys have ashwagandha? No, they were out. Seriously, for a full year, right? There's messages the universe tells you in a whole lot of different ways. And then finally, I found it in the cupboard that I already had. But same thing with the tongue scraper. It's like, oh, I don't want to start that because I don't have it. Well, you're going to get it, right? Within all of these things that you have. But um, that's and within this daily essentials program, sorry, I'm talking too much, losing my train of thought here. I need to refocus with my lemon. Lemon is our oil of focus, our ability to focus, right? So when you have those things that you need to get, I've put together them all in a special little welcome gift for you. And so you'll get the tongue scraper, right? Which kind of seems weird. It kind of, all right, but do I want it? Where do I get it? What's the right one to use? It's there for you. Oil massage. This is one that took me a long time. It's kind of a weird thing. Just a forewarner, spoiler alert on that one. But everything is there. So to make this weird thing part of your daily, this is now my absolute favorite habit. I don't want to miss a day with my oil massage. So you're going to get a fancy blue bottle, a washcloth. You've got the oils, everything you need to make this super easy to do. You have diffuser recipes and support recipes at your fingertips. And you can use them as a trigger to help you remember to do these before you go to bed at night or first thing in the morning. Maybe thinking, I'm not sure if essential oils are right for me. I've tried them before and they gave me a headache, right? And totally true. I totally get that. The essential oils that we use are safe. I've tried them before. Um, you know, other brands before and who had those different reactions to the synthetics that are in them. This is a totally, completely natural product. This is the only essential oils that I will recommend because they are made from whole plants. And I know that they're made from whole plants. I can verify, I've been there, seen them, actually pick them, put them through the process and go through there. I've got a very high level of trust within this, and that's why these are included within the program. Essential oils are a big business, and most of the essential oils out there are synthetics, unfortunately. Just like we created our pills in laboratory, we've recreated essential oils in laboratory. If you think about all the products out there that have scent in them, that is the essential oil business. right? Everything has scent added to it nowadays. So there's been a lot of things that have come along to like try to make it better, just as we've done for our food, right? Try to make it faster, all those shortcuts we've taken, but we've lost the full essence of the product within that. So this is there are instances where you can have a allergic reaction totally to a particular plant, totally natural because it is a natural plant, right? But beyond that, these are going to be ones that we can use and not have that same feeling. And if you might be thinking, I don't really want the membership, I don't want to have to buy more stuff. You don't have to worry about that. What you need for the course is included. There might be a few amplifiers that, depending on what's going on in your body, that you might want to tap into later, but that's totally up to you as to whether you want to do that or not. Okay. Um, we also have within the program the resources hub. So making it super easy to step on your mat. We have beginner to intermediate yoga routines all set up there. There are printables. If you want to watch the video, you can do that. If you want the printout sheet, it's all there to make it super easy for you to do. We have a guided meditation laboratory for like 1 minute to like 10 or 15 minutes, I think is the longest that we go within that. All of that is within this as well. Um, the mind blowing, we have a whole bunch of guides and protocols with mind blowing stress relievers. We've got a protocol series on the gut health, our happy hormones protocol, our pain relief plan. Those are all within there. And we've added something new. Or this summer, we've kind of built out the hormone series because I actually started to do a workshop on this, a 1 hour workshop, and it became like way too much information overload. It's now become a mini course. And so as I'm piecing that together, you guys are going to get access to that with your Daily Essentials membership this time around because hormones are getting a lot of press and there's a lot that goes into it. And there's a lot of suffering that goes on that we don't need to do. So just because your mom suffered through this doesn't mean you have to, or because your sister did or your neighbor did. There is a better way. And there's things that you can do right now if you're not in that phase yet that are going to make this transition phase a lot more easeful. So this is all included in with this as well. We have one of the really sweet things we do is each week for each lesson we have an energy clearing protocol, and so this helps us to go through, it kind of removes these blocks, it raises our level, and it just makes you feel amazing. So part of our spa feeling is to go through some of these protocols as well. This is one of the highlights of the course, is to be able to do this as well within that. And then what actually gives you the long lasting results is we have these weekly coaching calls, right? And I love the calls. They're the highlight of my week and the highlight of our whole group. This is from Ali that they're actually productive time when you're on these calls with us. And these have everything on here. I'll let you read the numbers. They all have a value on them of what we to put the price tag on there. We have a Facebook group, and it's not just one of those Facebook groups that just kind of sits there. It's actually a really energetic group. I post, things throughout the week, but I'm definitely not the most prolific poster. There's other people that are in there all the time, cheering each other on, posting little tidbits, helpful hints, recipes, just little inspirational items within that. It's super supportive as you go through that. If you're not on Facebook, don't worry. We have lots of ability to comment that within our group as well. We have a one-on-one coaching. So for things that you don't want to bring up on the call or when we need to dive into drill things a little bit deeper, you also get these monthly sessions within the course as well. And then each month, we actually bring in an expert on a topic that's pertinent to this season. So you get not only my knowledge, the knowledge of our whole group collaborative, but we bring in these extra experts to give us some just different, focuses and things to think about. And just to go some different fun places. So some of the places that we've explored already have been, tidying your home, your wild edibles, some tapping, and you get access to all of those as well within the course. Everything, all the history is there. This month we're tapping, or we're stepping into in July, we're tapping into moon cycles, some hormones, a little bit deeper dive into that. So we'll have some fun things planned for the summer with our guests. And then you have the opportunity, after you've gone through the program and kind of really, learn this, you can learn it at a whole new level by becoming a mentor to someone else within the program. And so when you teach someone, you learn it in that whole deep, different way. All right. So the whole program, if you were to add that up, is like a $9,000 value on this. And then we have a bunch of bonuses to make this easier. So we have the Happy Hormones course we talked about, which has that value of $194. We have our yin and essential oils. This is a 6 class series that's included in. It weaves in really nicely within with some of the hormone work that we do and the clearing away the toxins and that type of thing. Can tap into that. We have a whole easy peasy morning yoga program. So if you're new to yoga and just don't know how to get started, this is a great way to do that. We have a class, one of our monthly classes, our teacher put together a whole program for that. One of our guest speakers put together this program to just tap into, pardon the pun, your stress and emotional freedom. So this kind of a how-to of tapping. Then that we have an essential oil dosha guide, so to get specific on what's right for you particularly and how to use those. And that's like a whole course and workshop within there. And then we have our Marma Magic Map. So we use this like the massage. We'll use this a lot this summer. And then we have, actually this summer, I've kind of woven things a little bit differently so that if you are to join our program before the end of June, we have a couple extra bonuses. doTERRA loves to add these extras in occasionally, and June is one of those months. So you can actually, you get the Easy Air Touch with an extra $24, but you actually get the whole respiratory bundle. I've tweaked what oils we're going to be using so that we can tap in. So some of those extra oils are referred to. We have the ability, there's a new little Canada Strong kit, so we can tap into that. And so for a really, really juicy price, we're going to add in some of those oils. So you've got an even bigger picture to get started with. And that gives you 124 extra dollars. Doesn't cost you that, but you get that extra value within the course as well. So we have these essential love bonuses for another $900. You can tapping into that. So the whole program is over $10,000. You're like, "Oh, I totally can't afford that." And I totally get that. We want to make it super easy. So the value of the program is actually $747. And you get access to everything for a full 6 months. It's going to carry you through the summer and the fall, all the way up through and past Christmas. There's just so much value within this, right? So this is from Angela, from Hannah, and she, took the course just because she, knew those things that she wanted to do, and she just wanted to dial that in a little bit deeper. And after years of focusing on everyone else, this was what enabled her to tap into herself and to dial it in. So the Daily Essentials was just what she needed to make that happen for her. So here's exactly how to do it. So if you're totally new to doTERRA, if you don't have membership yet, you go to my website and your membership kit will be included in this price. Okay, so that's the 747. So the Flourish Yoga Daily Essentials is where you go and just click on that Join Today button on the bottom, and that will take you through. If you're already a doTERRA member, then you get a little bit of an extra bonus on this one. So you actually get a savings of $70 off of this because the course price, um, the people going through that, they're getting a lot of extras thrown in there, and so I've reduced it. If with your daily essentials, if you already have a membership, you get a little extra bonus on that. But you click on the first one for that. If you want to go through on that full VIP experience that I crafted and created, lying on the couch that summer, you can do that after the 1447. You still get part of the group program because that's where we go further, but you also get that one-on-one special attention. You can tap into that side. And so this is where it takes you through. After you click the bottom, you go to the cart, you add it in there, and then your welcome email and your welcome box, your welcome little goodie box is going to be on the way to you. And we'll be getting started here in the beginning of June. Not the first week of June. We're going to give a little easeful space. We're going to tap into it right after that. And there is, of course, a money back guarantee. So you get full access to everything for 2 weeks. And you actually get a full 30-day refund on your doTERRA products because that's your own products that you get to send back to them. And so you actually get to do that. The supplements, you can use the supplements, the whole bottles, you can return the empty bottles and say, no, don't like them, and doTERRA will refund them. So they give you the chance to try them out within your body and see if that's right for you, which is super sweet because they have that belief that they're going to be right for you. And if they're not right for you, they don't want you to be on the hook for that cost. So that's a little extra bonus that you get from that. I want to introduce you to Melissa. And Melissa is that scientist by nature as well. And she came into the course, and for her, one of the big things was that we have the validation behind it, and we're including the validation. We can call this the kind of that we're speaking to the one woos. It's like we got a lot of woo woo going on, but this is for those one woo people that need the science and the validation, and they're not just gonna be that total, bada on the hippie wagon there. So we're speaking to we can, deal with both camps on this one. And then this is Debbie, who took the course because she desperately needed something to change. She had no idea actually what she was getting into, so bless her heart. She knew me, and she's like, I know Krista, and I heard her talk about this Ayurveda thing for a while. I have no idea what this is, but I need something to change, so let's go into this. And she wasn't into yoga. Her only experience was not very positive with yoga before, but she knew me. She said, okay, set that aside and go in. And she learned so much about herself. She learned to love so much about herself. She is now actually loving her morning yoga practice because of how it breaks down the easy peasy morning yoga. It was a totally different experience than what she'd had before. And she just loves the group support and coming back. Afterwards, she went through the program the first time. She's like, I don't want this to end. And it's like, no, you don't have to end. You get to go through again. And then from that, we actually created this longer period of time that you could get to keep coming back for over and over as long as it's serving you within that. So I encourage you to join today. I would love to have you within our community and our program and just tap in. So if you choose to do your own summer experience, totally let me know what's going on within that. I would love to hear, but I would really love to have you join our group. And it's kind of this really close knit community, and we're just looking for those right people to expand us and expand our awareness and our knowledge, and make us take us deep into that deeper level within ourselves. All right. Hope you enjoyed this. Let me know your dosha. Let me know what your summer plan is. And let me know if you have any questions. All right. Bye bye.